Good morning, good morning. Let's see how many people are awake. Let's see how many people are awake. Good morning, we got people joining already. Good morning, good morning. Oh, we got some people awake, good. Plenty of people awake. Awesome. Awesome. Good morning, good morning. Already requesting to join. Howdy, howdy. White Wat, good morning. Ozco, good morning, good morning. Night for me, but good morning. Good morning, Lucas. Woo! Let's go. All right, well, this morning I was supposed to have the distinguished gentleman Rohan from Brisk Commerce with me. However, that is not the case. It's a little early in the morning for some of us, but that's all right. Today, I wanted just to provide a general market recap for you all so that we at least got some information squared away. Yeah, it's about 2 a.m. here. Oh, goodness. Rock on, baby. Rock on. We're already getting all kinds of people join, all kinds of comments and everything. So, guys, I don't know if you were looking at the market this week or trading or what you were doing, if you were selling, if you were taking profits, if you were buying, because you finally got some confidence in the market that it was going back up. Whatever it might have been, this week was phenomenal. So I had been legging in. I have been legging in since pretty much the beginning of the fall, right around the first 2% drop. Actually, it was about 1.5%. About the first 1.5% drop with the S&P 500 was SPY. Now, the majority of the tech sector, which is my favorite tech sector and what I leverage the most in regards to anything outside of my ETFs, because my ETFs are my most leveraged positions, the tech sector corrected about 10.5% on average, not necessarily including Facebook in that average, because Facebook dropped about 18%. So that was a lot. All right, that was a lot, and that was due to market environment. Obviously, September was very red, as well as all of the FUD that was going on with Facebook. A lot of stuff going down with Facebook, and a lot of bad news and privacy issues, and the platforms going down, and it's all right. It's all right. It's just noise. And the reason why I tell you it's just noise is because not a couple days ago, I start seeing increased price targets from the banks in the 400 range for Facebook. Unbelievable. Smells like a lot of noise to me. Smells like a lot of noise to me. I don't know. That just might be me. That just might be my opinion. Short sell Facebook, I think that's Novavax and Moderna. I'm fine shorting pharmaceuticals. They ought to lose some money in the short term. They've made what? Oh my goodness. Billions of dollars off of the vaccine, but I'm not going to get into that. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. So, anyways, this week was excellent. We broke through a lot of technical thresholds, which I was very happy about, specifically in the S&P 500. And one of my favorite individual stocks that I'm pretty highly leveraged in at the moment, Microsoft, that stock is really getting close to all-time highs again, right? We've had an incredible week with Microsoft. AMD had an incredible week, for example. Now, the other thing that I would like to cover today is the banks. We had a lot of bank earnings, all right? And then coming up, we've got Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, defense contractors. We've got the tech sector coming up. So the tech sector earnings are going to be very, very interesting. To my knowledge, the last mass tech sector, and I don't know if this was the last. No, this wasn't the last one. But we had one back in, what was it? It was sometime earlier this year. And and this was when Tesla was at $900 a share. And I just watched everything, all the techs just shoo, right to the floor. So we'll see what happens this time around. I believe that most of the techs are, at major supports already, and some of them are recovering, which is good. but the techs have a lot of room to run to the upside for them to recover their previous prices and their previous trading ranges that they were in. So we've got a lot of companies coming up. We've got, to my knowledge, Off the Dome. We've got NXPI, semiconductor company. We've got Facebook. Oh my goodness. Netflix, defense contractors. I mentioned them. General Dynamics, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. We've got Apple, both Class A and Class C for Google. We've got AMD. Ooh, I think we've got Tesla coming up this week, and a couple other big companies. So, and if you're in OBR, we went over them on Friday at length. We went over all of the earnings for the next 2 weeks. We have a lot of big company earnings. I'm talking hundreds of billions of dollar market cap companies, big companies. So, and tech companies are obviously huge. So, all right, FCX earning this week. AA killed it with these hyperinflation market metals prop. Okay, all right, well, good. I do not trade FCX, so that is not a long-term or a trade that I have at the moment. So, morning, big dog. Morning, big dog. What up, Cam? Good morning. Good morning, Cam. So, the other thing that I want to cover is the earnings that we had this week. The primary focus this week, and we still have a couple more banks coming up, I believe, but the primary focus this week was the banks. I don't know if you all were watching, but my favorite bank ETF, XLF, which is the Financial Select Spider ETF, that ETF did incredibly well this past week. And prior to it doing incredibly well, the ETF, fell. It fell quite harshly and very quickly. And that was because right before the earnings, all these banks started shorting each other, I bet. I could imagine, right? If you know, just bear with me here. If you know a company's about to go sky high in their earnings, wouldn't you want to get the cheapest price and the cheapest entry before you get into that earnings play? I sure as hell would, right? So the biggest thing here is we've got to look at it from a different lens, folks. We got to look at this from the lens of the big money, the smart money, all right? Smart money, big money tells us that when major companies start to sell off before earnings, somebody's about to pump that bad boy, all right? Somebody's about to pump that bad boy. And if you guys are in OBR and you were here for that Lululemon play a little while back, that was the first primary direct example I could provide to you all. I'll reiterate. Lululemon, they had earnings coming up, all right? And about a week before those earnings, all these different banks came out saying, Lululemon, in just unbelievable price targets, which was just fantastic. So, and I was very bullish on Lululemon. The company's been doing super well. Growth has been phenomenal. And 2 days before the earnings, you tell me if this is fishy. 2 days before the earnings, and this happens all the time. And this past week, it happened with every single bank that had earnings, to my knowledge. So don't directly quote me on that. But so what happened was Lululemon 2 days before earnings was down $20+ a share. $20+ a share. The Evergrande China real estate story is over. I don't care about that. I don't care about them. Let them just, explode and do whatever it is that they want to do. They'll handle it themselves. So, $20+ down a share the day before earnings after 2 days of falling, right? And that to me just tells me, oh my goodness, the banks are shorting the heck out of it. I think they're the only people capable of bringing a stock down that fast. Little sus. Jovi, what's up? It is sus, Jovi. I agree with you. And you and I have talked about this. So that is a big issue. So I'm thinking, okay, why the bank shorting this thing right before earnings? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because they wanted a $50 gap. Okay? $20 down, $30 up. It was a $50 gap. We went long. Yeah, they did. They did very well. And the banks knew they were going to do well. They knew they were going to do well, right? So we went long. I got in, and I was in the live chat for this. I had multiple people take high delta long calls and bull put credit spreads in this play. So bull put credit spreads, I was super safe with the play. I was already long on Lululemon, and I loved the price that it was at before earnings. It pulled down $20-something a share. I mean, that was a buy for me, and that was my second leg, so I wasn't even deep in Lululemon. So I added another leg, a little bit of a larger quantity, because I had seen this before. And guys, this is just kind of experience and looking at this through a different lens. I had seen this before. I've seen banks short incredible stocks. And mind you, a week prior, they had issued price targets that were just astronomically high for Lululemon. So why the heck would Lululemon be getting shorted down $20 a share? I'm not for it. I think that's BS. So the good deal here was we got in those long plays out to December. We had plenty of time. That was the contract, and this was back in August? So we had plenty of time on those contracts, and within a day, we were the guys who did the long calls were up about 300%. It was an unbelievable play. And myself, being the ultra conservative I am as a trader, I was up about 40, 45, almost 50% on my legs within a day. And for my credit spreads with the capital that I deploy, 45 to 50% is well above where I usually look for. So 50% is usually the last possible leg that it's runners. So I usually look for about 25 to 35% return on my long positions. And in one day from that $20 drop, we were sitting $50 tall. All right? The reason why I bring up this very long story, and I apologize and thank you for sitting with it. The reason I bring this up is because, guys, the same crap happened this week. Same thing happened with the bank's earnings. Same thing happened. So we're looking at all these banks, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, well, usually the banks are supposed to do well. Credit services are doing well. There's no more stimmy checks, what have you. Banks are supposed to be doing well. There's a lot of background information on the banks. And then the banks start falling. JP Morgan fell. Goldman Sachs fell. I think Morgan Stanley fell. And I'm thinking to myself, where have I seen this before? Well, Lululemon wasn't the first time, but I've seen it multiple times. And I just want you guys to think through a different lens here. You guys got to understand that if something's happening on a large technical scale, all right, on a large technical scale, something's happening. There's somebody working to gain from that information. And yeah, white gold. Yeah, sell the news. That's what everybody else is thinking, though, right? That's what everyone else is thinking. In this case, you've got the earnings coming up, and the banks are falling. So banks and politicians, big manipulators, been talked about in our Discord. Join the Discord, guys. Jovi, I appreciate you. Yeah, guys, we've gotten it to a point where, yes, technicals are extremely important. However, we also understand that two words out of Jay Powell's mouth could swing the markets, a couple hundred points, right? So we've got the Fed that can verbally manipulate the market. We've got politicians that could come out and say something about electric vehicles, or can say, I don't like this country, or I don't like that country, or complain and whine, or filibuster, or whatever. Sorry, politicians are worthless for the most part. The majority of them are just worthless. They sit on a little throne and they just bicker back and forth at each other, and they argue about the same agenda that they have, that they just see through a different lens, or whatever, lens of righteousness, or whatever. I'm not going to get into it. But biggest thing for the banks this week is I wanted you guys to understand these banks have been doing extremely well. If you look at the XLF chart, okay, XLF, you look at that chart, been doing phenomenally well, okay? That ETF has seen more growth in the past couple years than it's seen in its entire existence. Unbelievable, to my knowledge. Don't quote me on that. But it has grown incredibly. I was in with the OBR crew. I got into Goldman Sachs, and one of my largest positions I've been in a little while was the first XLF pullback that we had down to the 36 level, and then we had a vicious retracement back up into the 38 level. And I got out of that very quickly, even though it was a long position. That kind of price action, see ya. I'm not going to wait around for it to fall again. Nope. I had conviction. I went in long. Out. All right, out. So, guys, do me a huge favor. And I covered a lot of information there. I know there's a little bit of ranting and a little bit of, whole 9 yards. GD, have a great weekend, my friend. GD, you're an animal. You're an animal. You have a great weekend. You take care of yourself. I'm sure you did very well this week. Very smart guy. He knows a lot of this. He understands everything I'm going over. So forget stocks. Think you have a career in sports announcing. Sports announcing. Well, all right. Let's think about this for a second. Let's consider the pros and cons here. The cons outweigh the pros, in my opinion, for sports announcing because... Oh, hello, Gunther. Hello, buddy. My French Bulldog's getting walked around the front of the house. So, do I want to be a sports announcer? No. I stopped watching sports once everything started getting super political and everything, and I just want sports for sports. Now, a huge advocate for freedom of speech. You do what you want to do. It's all right. But, I don't know. I just have not been watching a whole lot of sports. I'd much rather watch analytical reviews. I'd much rather watch, company, insider meetings, etc. And I want to get information from what it is that I watch, or I want to make sure. Oh, what's up? Howdy. So I would much rather. I don't know. I'm just not. I used to be a huge sports guy. Like I was varsity football, wrestling, lacrosse. Oh gosh. I've played basketball. I played soccer. I've played a lot of different sports. I appreciate it. You'd make a good sports commentator. See, the problem is I'm not PC enough to be a good sports commentator. I'm just saying. I mean, the first thing that I would say about somebody being a pansy for whatever, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, Clayton's canceled." Whatever. Whatever. So, but yes, one of my few talents is that I can talk and will never ever have an issue not talking. So the only time I ever couldn't talk real well was when I got my wisdom teeth pulled out. But then I turned into George Bush for whatever reason and started chatting with the nurse. That was a bad day. I embarrassed myself thoroughly. Almost got my ass whooped by my father. That was funny. Anyways, guys, let's hop back on the stock conversation. What questions can I answer for you all? What did you all see this week that you need information on, right? What were you confused about? What were you trying to learn? What positions did you guys take? How did you react to the earnings? What do you think about the market outlook moving forward? I'll tell you what I think. I'm freaking bullish, baby. I'm bullish. I think we're going to the moon, all right? Historically, November is one of our most bullish months. Okay? Does OBR have a lifetime plan? I appreciate it. All you gotta do is hop into our premium, and it will just reoccurring payments, $35 a month, and you get to Rohan, my guy. Yes. Yeah, Rohan's up and alive and well. I love it. Good morning, Beast. So, guys, the premium's $35 a month, and I'm in the live call every single day, all right? Every single day. And we go over trading strategy. I mean, there's nothing that we do not go over, all right? But we are very hands-on. I want to make sure, as the host of this call every single day from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., all right? No, I'm usually in at 8:30. Call starts at 9 a.m. Eastern time and goes till 12 p.m. Eastern time. So we help every single type of trader. and we help you all make sure that you guys are as independent as possible as traders so that you all can trade by yourselves and come to us when you just need some additional verification, right? All right, that's a great question. And then, so Rohan from Brisk Commerce asked real quick, do I think the bank's earnings will strengthen the underlying bull market? Heck yes. These banks flying is no bearish indicator to me. I love it. I love it. I think the banks are going to do well. I think it's the tech sector's turn this coming week. The defense contracting sector, they're going to be running here. So lots of cash on the sidelines during a month like September. Okay, September was red. That being said, cash is kept on the sidelines with the smart money. All right, and then they're finding finding a good time or multiple times, like myself, to re-inject that capital for the best return upon retracement. So, all right, what is the long-term goal of OBR, and what personal plans do you have with this company? Okay, so the long-term goal of OBR is we want to create the largest social media-based financial company. And guys, I'm pretty brand new to this company, so there's a lot that I do and do not know. All right. So I'm going to focus on the personal side, but I do know, and I've shared this with a lot of the guys because this is why they brought me on. I told them that I wanted to create a community of traders that is as close to a digital trading floor as possible. And what I mean by that is I want OBR to have a full arsenal of people that can work together in unison, creating an absolute comprehensive unit, all right, that is deployable every single day during the market in multiple different ways, all right? Whether that's scalping, day trading, long-term trading, any kind of trading, equities, covered calls, credit spreads, what have you. I want to make sure that everyone in my trading group in OBR is independent, is self-sufficient, can handle their data collection, their TA, their fundamental analysis on their own. But that being said, you have to work with people who know how to do this first in order for you to become self-sufficient. That's what I'm here for. That's what the analysts are here for. That's what our admin team's here for, the moderators, the executives, and a lot of the members. We have members that are so bought into OBR, they come in just to help us help you all. They're members. And it's just because they thoroughly enjoy and benefit from being in our live calls and in our Discord every single day. We have tons of people in our live calls every single day. And on Fridays, we bring in the entire free section of OBR. You can imagine how packed that is, all right? It's like a freaking college auditorium, 300-something people just flushing in. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's unbelievable. So let me see what other questions we got here. Hopefully on the screen. Can or this page teach me how to invest in stocks as a day trader? Yes, plain and simple. We can provide you all the information you need to use or you would need to be an investor in the stock market or to be a scalper or a day trader or a swing trader or whatever kind of trader you want to be. That being said, it is up to you to apply the knowledge that we are trying our best to provide you. What we provide you is comprehensive. We make sure it is, all right, so that it covers all angles and it's broad in its nature. So that being said, we want to make sure that, like I said before, that you are self-sufficient. I'm just getting spammed on Snapchat. I don't know what the heck's going on. It's kind of weird. So, yes, we've got plenty of information in our Discord. Link is in the bio of OBR. We've got a website, ton of information. We have analysts that you can speak to, work with directly. You get in the live call. You unmute your mic. You go, Clayton, I need help with X, Y, and Z. And you know what Clayton says? This guy right here? All right, you know what I say? Heck yeah, what can I do for you? All right, every single time. And I say that every single time I get a question. Yes, sir, what can I do for you? That's always the way it's going to be. I've always been that way. And I'm going to do my absolute best to help you. And if there's any question that you ask me that is way over my head that I don't feel like I can explain fully, I'm going to be the first person to tell you. All right? I'm going to let you know that I cannot answer that question, and I'm going to get the right person that can. because we've got them. All right. There's not a whole lot of questions that I've ever heard of. As a matter of fact, off the top, I can't really think of any that we don't have somebody that's completely capable of answering. We're well-rounded. Comprehensive is no joke. All right. And that's why I use that word. So let's move on, see if there's any other questions. OBR is big time. Yes, sir, C. Ward. Appreciate you. No joke. Appreciate you. Let me see. I'm scrolling up here. If you guys got any questions about the earnings or anything about the market this past week, we'll run them. Run it. Let me know. Let me know. Come on, start asking me some questions. I see 40 y'all in here. Give me some questions. Come on, give me something. I so much want to work under you. Well, I appreciate that very much. You're more than welcome to join OBR and we can have a conversation. Hop in the Discord, chat with me. You motivate like the wolf of Elm Street, bro. Elm Street. I appreciate it. LVS still running this week. Okay. Do you have any suggestions for futures trading videos? Ooh, futures trading. See, this distinguished gentleman right here, I have not gotten into futures trading. It's just not a part of my arsenal. So I have never really looked into them. Now, I would look at, there's a couple of channels that I really do appreciate, and maybe they have some videos on trading futures. I would look at on YouTube In the Money. And if we have futures trading videos, I would look through our YouTube and I'd look through our website, or I would get into our Discord and start poking around and find one of our analysts, because I know we've got guys that do futures. So, but In the Money or Options Alpha, Andy. So we've got Options Alpha and then In the Money on YouTube. Those guys are great. I've learned a ton from them. I don't know if they do anything with futures though. So off the top of my head, I'm not entirely sure where to point you, and I apologize for that. I really do. So, okay. All right, I'm 18 years old. Should I begin to invest in dividends and reinvest all the dividends? Well, here's what I say. While you're young, you can take a little bit of risk, right? In my opinion, a dividend portfolio is not a risk. You're not really taking on any associated risk by building up equity in companies and good companies that provide good dividends, unless you're buying, potentially REITs or super risky stocks that have high dividends. So I would focus on ways that you can trade to build the capital that you need so that a dividend portfolio would actually provide you a good return annually. Okay, so focus on trading, focus on growth while you're young, because you've got time, plenty of time as an 18-year-old to really build up some capital, right? So that's what I would focus on. And that's what I did focus on. Futures are amazing, Andy. You're amazing. Just in general, can you talk about taxes when it comes to day trading? Do you pay taxes every time you withdraw, even if you reinvest in it? No, I pay quarterly taxes. So I pay quarterly taxes, and I gotta head out here momentarily. So I pay quarterly taxes, and you've got a couple things. I mean, I'll be straight honest with you. I've gotten to a point in my career where I don't have to handle really anything that I don't want to handle. So I've got a gentleman who handles all of that for me, and he just covers it all. I give him my P&L statements from TD Ameritrade, and he goes, "All right, you owe this much," and I go, "All right, kaboom." We keep it simple. I don't feel like dealing with it, so I'm not going to deal with it. Period. All right, guys, take it easy. I've got to head out. I will. If you guys have questions, please just DM them to OBR, and we'll do our best to answer them accordingly. And I will chat with you all later. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see just how green we can get this coming week. All right.